Okay, so as I said in last night's watch list video, the setup going into yesterday on so many of the EV plays was just perfect. We had several days in a row down and then a gap down, and we killed it yesterday. Today, I wasn't as excited about the setups I was seeing. Right, the big moves in those were yesterday, so that really wasn't the space to trade today. And you can see kind of a narrow range on the SPY, hanging out near all-time highs, but another one of those days where we close about where we open, pretty uneventful. Although if you look at 5-minute candles, you see the end of the day, there was some Pfizer news that kind of smashed the market a little bit, but overall, it was just kind of a dead day in the market. A couple of highlights. This one hurts to show you, this ENLV, because Wayne had given the idea earlier in the day, anytime today through 11, right? Whole number inflection point on a morning gap play, going to new highs. They had news in the morning, and I was in the kitchen, either getting something to eat or drink, and came back and saw this. And Wayne nailed it, by the way. He showed a screenshot of his entry. He got filled right at that break, and even got $2, I think, plus maybe on some shares. I ended up playing a pullback in this same name somewhere in here. Somewhere right in here, and actually on the little pop here, instead of selling a few, I accidentally bought more, and then I don't know, I'm not sure what candles. Long story short, I actually ended up red on this name after being out of the kitchen and missing this huge move, or being out of the office in the kitchen and missing this huge move. I actually lost a few bucks in this name, which is always embarrassing because it was a great call by Wayne. But anyway, I missed it, or I blew it. Other highlights, LIZI, which I actually called this one through 5. When it kind of looked like this. So you had the early pop, then it pulled back, and then ripped to new highs. And look at this candle. So this, to me, the reason I was interested in this through 5, I'll just break it down real quick. When it did this, I thought, hey, this is a typical low price stock gapping up that the shorts are going to have a field down, right? It's going to end up closing down here and maybe fall for 2 more days in a row. You see that all the time. So this candle, to me, made this something I didn't even want to mess with today. I figured, hey, shorts are going to kill it on this. But notice it never took out the low of day. The next thing you know, it puts in a lower high right at the whole number 5. And the earlier high was 515. So if you get back through 5, you've got a new high of day just 15 cents above. And then it does this for most of the day and starts to work its way back up. Now, the later you get in the day, the more danger shorts are in if this does rip. So anyway, long story short, for those reasons, I figured this might have even sucked in more shorts, right? This candle right here. But then it just doesn't, it never takes out the low of day. So long story short, called this long through 5, looking for a quick push to new highs for the day. And it did this. Ended up giving a really nice move and then falling apart at the end of the day. Really nice trade for me there. Some people asked, well, how did you get filled? I think Wayne actually got filled at 502, though, to be honest. I'll double check with him. As this was, I was watching it like on 1-minute candles, right? So I'll try to zoom in and show you. All right, so as it was about right here, you got this high right here, this lower high, 497. Then it comes down to 490. It comes all the way down to here, then goes to a lower high at 496-ish. And so I just took it as it broke this. I think I got filled 497, 498, thinking it's going to break 5. It was one of those, I call it taking it in anticipation of the break. Well, somebody said, what if it hadn't broke? I said, well, my stop was about 475. And if I show you 5-minute candles, it'll kind of give you a better description of why. So if it doesn't break 5 here, that's kind of the 8-day, that 475 area. It's kind of where it held on that last pullback. So if this doesn't break 5, or even if it does break 5 and then rug pull, that's where I'm hitting out at 475. So in a way, I kind of cheated by taking it before the 5 break. But what I saw, what was the other one? EVK. I kind of saw EVK do the same thing, and it was literally ungettable through a whole number. So I thought, if this breaks 5, I want to be in it. And when it got to like 496, I thought it was worth a shot, right? Anyway, it does this, and most of you in chat today know what happened to me, right? It does this. I scaled out 2/3, like sell. I think my best sell was still under 540. I think it was in the 530s, right? And then my entire TradeStation platform just closed. I didn't hit any buttons. It just closed, which freaked me out. Anyway, I logged in as quick as I could and got out the final third. But that was a little bit scary. Had to go change my underwear after that happened. All right, so that was a nice trade. Jesus, the LIZI, ENLV. I can't think of any others offhand. CAAS this morning actually had news, and I'll show you the setup here. I'm going to figure out why. Okay, here it is. 1 minute in the first minute. There, I like to explain why I call stuff. So in the first minute, we were already watching it as a gap play, recent high flyer, and then it had news this morning, and it puts in this opening 1 minute candle. I said if this gets back up through 9, the high of days like 901. So you had a whole number inflection point, kicking it to new highs if it breaks 9. So I called this long through 9. And 1 minute candles, look at that. So in 1 minute, it's at 930, which I actually think my best sell. It ended up going to 960. I think my best sell might have been 935-ish right here. And then it started to rip through the half, and I thought, ooh, I'm going to sell some more at 10. And then it did this, and I had my final shares, which I didn't have much left. So this was a really nice way to start the day. My final shares got stopped out right there at flat. So anyway, that was another trade that I did pretty well in. It was a good way to start the day. All right, enough babbling. I'm going to go into the watch list for tomorrow. I'm certainly going to have LIZI on watch, LIZI. It did have news. I think they have a deal with XPEV, one of the Chinese electric car makers. So it's a nice sounding headline for what was this morning a $2 and something stock, right? 229 million shares, closed well off of its highs, but I do like the headline. It actually had a reason, unlike EVK that nobody could figure out why it was running. This one actually had a reason to run, and that's a nice sounding headline, right? So that one goes back on watch. I'll watch it for a few days probably. COCP, you know what? There's nothing interesting here. Oh, that's right. It's gapping in after hours. 183 is where it's trading. So that actually is I'm just putting it on watch because it had this big move back here, kind of a nasty sell-off, and then something's going on in after hours. It was actually over 190 at one point. If it's still gapping in the morning, I'll leave it at that. I'll watch that one, but it doesn't look great to me. SLRX, honestly, I'm not sure where this volume came from. Nobody in chat could figure it out. But at the end of the day, we have a big volume day and a fairly strong close. So I will look for a continuation day in that one. Remember, I'm a day trader, so I'm just looking for things that might give me an A+ intraday setup tomorrow, right? FT continues to show its strength. Had this pop, then a lower high, and a nice pop today, although it closed off its highs. This feels like maybe it's just a pump. I'm not sure, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. MIK, nice breakout today. I'm just going to look for a continuation day tomorrow. JFIN, back here, you had a run from like, I don't know, $3 over the course of a couple days to 474 on pretty decent volume. Came back down, and now it's starting to curl back up. So maybe over today's high, which was 435, maybe that'll be enough to get it to challenge this 474 and break out. All right, so I'm going to watch that one. Arlo, really nice rebound today. You had this big day, then pretty much round tripped, and it's right back up again. So that one's showing some great strength. I think it popped on their cameras being in Apple stores, maybe. I'm not positive, double check that, but it's holding up pretty darn well. ARRY was on bounce watch, just an ugly 4 or 5 days down in a row. It just goes back on bounce watch. No trades in it today. CAN had it on bounce watch and no trigger in it today. I give it one more day to watch for a potential bounce. No trades in it today. Kind of the same thing with WYY. It is coming down to the 8-day. Had this huge move back here. But it feels like nobody's even watching anymore. The volume's really dropped off. I'll give it one more day to show me something. No trades in it today. HGSH, this chart actually looks good all by itself. You've got this pop back here, a little bit of a lower high, starting to curl back up. Nice volume. So it looks good anyway, but that's not why it's on the list. It's trading at 343 right now in after hours. So potential gap play tomorrow. We'll see what that looks like. And by the way, I couldn't figure out why. Maybe they had news and I just couldn't find it. You can make the same argument with SGLB, which is trading at 365 in after hours. So another potential gap play, and a couple more. Laser, really extended, right? But in after hours, this is trading at 26 bucks, and actually I think hit maybe almost 27. So if it's still gapping in the morning, a potential gap play, and then one more gapper, CIIC, is trading at 24.87 right now. So those last four are all potential gappers. If I had to pull one off the list, it'd probably be that COCP. I think I'm just going to pull that off the list. If it's gapping in the morning, I'll find it again. So there you go. I'm going to leave it at that. Quit babbling, and we'll see everybody in the chat room in the morning.